Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the most exciting grand finals you will ever watch in Australian esports history. My name is Coldblood, and joining me once again, like he has for 7 times in a row, my good buddy here at 3:30 in the morning in sunny, or the opposite of sunny, Melbourne. It is Cameron. How are you, boss?
Good. We're on the sugar now.
We're on the sugar. I'm on adrenaline. You've bought lollies. We're all good.
And V.
Doing well.
We're trying.
Screaming into a mic helps you keep the energy up.
That's exactly right. So we're already into our bands again. Oriana, Ziggs, Rennington, banned by Makeshift.
Kazakh's band.
Yeah, Wukong banned, but the unsurprising man, I would say unsurprising, is the Kazakhs.
Yeah.
The Kazakhs did really well in the last game against the barbecue crew. I'm just going to call them the barbecue crew.
Barbecue crew, okay.
Yeah, we'll go with
we
that.
don't know whether they're Koreans or barbecues. Either way, they play very well.
Yeah,
What makes sense? If they're barbecues who play this well, they're doing... I can't see any barbecues at computers.
No, they're on the attics.
Okay, so ladies and gents, just to quickly explain it, mostly for the benefit of the archive viewers, this is the tiebreaker of the grand final, with the being the third series, 1-for-1 tied up. But because it's a double elim tournament, and our team on the right here have not lost yet, apart from like they haven't dropped a game, real game. They have to lose once more to lose it all. So basically, if this game goes the way of Makeshift on the left,
We got to play a fourth.
they've got to win again to win, just because
Makeshift has to win.
the enemy team basically using their saving grace, whereas Makeshift, they dropped into the lower bracket early on and clawed their way up to this point.
And the beauty about the Makeshift is that they literally came to me at 11:45 before start today at the start of the LAN, and they're like, we're looking for a team. We put them together, and then now we're in the grand final, and they're possibly 2 wins away from winning $500 for the team, plus 3,200 RP, plus getting our Triumphant Rise skin, which is a very limited skin.
You only get that skin if you win a Riot-sanctioned tournament. It is very swagtastic, to put it in stupid kid terms.
Yeah, basically. So the first pick for Makeshift is the Lee, to go straight to Profound, who has been doing fantastically.
Elise and Lee's very talented on.
Yeah. And then we...
Ramsey bringing out his Zen.
We'll get there in a second. Then we've got bot lane already locked in. We've got the AA range of Caitlyn on Cruiser, and we've got we've got Chubby using Morgana. Okay,
so like you say, the bottom lane already being secured. They picked Leona into Morgana. That's very interesting. So, Aspira, he must be very confident in his Leona play. As we have Nidalee and Vi locked in. Vi was allowed to pass through, which may potentially be a costly mistake. Swag testing. Leave me alone, Fred. I'm turning into one of them. As Nyan Cat will be the mid picker for Hibto. He played it once and it was absolutely destructive. And giving Danshi his Vi. I'm not sure about that one. I'll have to see how it works out for them. Annie immediately locked in here. Will they send Psyker mid?
Again?
Or bot? He did reasonably well.
No, he did.
The later the game went, the better he got.
It's a very similar team setup, though. This is a bit of a problem, because
Leona does a lot more for their team comp than
Tarek did.
Tarek was kind of a backup support, like behind the scenes kind of man. Leona steals the show.
Yeah, she's like up in your face kind of shit. So like, Ramsey played the Xin 2 or 3 games ago, and he did really well. So, but he's been Jax has been picked into him.
Yeah, that would be difficult for Xin to deal with the counter-strike. He does go ahead and pick it up. So Framer has only been Shyvana and Renekton this whole time. A bunch of wild cards coming out in the grand final here. Our good pal Lug is agreeing with us that...
I wouldn't say it's a GG, though.
Not a GG. I think that's very unfair.
They had last game and they lost.
They had Vi last game.
So
it was played very well. They still lost. So
yeah. So
it's not over till the fat lady sings, methinks.
And people saying that Morgana is a big counter, and I've said this in the last match. Morgana is not exactly a massive counter to Leona. If she misses her snare, Leona can easily avoid her, and you can if you can panic the Morgana by using your Zenith Blade, you can make her self-cast the
Black Shield.
Black Shield onto herself.
Switch target.
And then you switch, and then Leona, if they're good, can switch target onto the ADC. So it's as long as the Morgana keeps on top, it keeps understanding where this Leona goes. That's the way of countering it.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not a true counter.
Ashen was theory crafting about the Morg versus Vi matchup. They're on the same team. So it's fair enough, Ashen. We're all a little exhausted here, except for Professor Niggles, who it's 1:30 in the afternoon for him. Lucky guy. I'd swap any day. But we are now into the loading screen, which means we can go ahead and look at the summoner spells. We have the barrier on Nidalee against, so that is a very smart move against the Annie.
Yeah.
It definitely caught Hipsto off guard. Not going to do so again, I think, here. We have Ignite by both top laners at the top. We know what's going to happen there. Big brawl fight.
It's going to be a very big kill lane.
Exactly the same matchup in the jungle. And we have Ignite on Morgana. That's very interesting.
Might be a bit more of a...
We've seen Barrier on the AD carry heal on the Morgana up until now.
Yeah.
So maybe...
But here, the ADCs are taking heal. Since 4.5, the heal got buffed.
Yeah.
And it's becoming...
Although, if you take Barrier and heal, your in-combat offensive capability is very much reduced.
No, your offense. I reckon you got a better offensive compatibility.
Capacity.
Yeah. But I wouldn't. But your escape or your chase down is very bad because you don't have that flash.
You don't. Yeah.
Flash is basically the most mandatory thing you can have. I reckon.
Yeah.
So.
No, definitely fair enough. Looks like these players agree with you. I think we've had 100% pick rate on Flash. So.
I've not seen anyone unless. If it's someone like Nasus, you'll see a teleport.
Nasus and Olaf don't get that much benefit out of Flash, so it's...
They better go with...
well, Ghost gives them more, really. Is the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do a bit of theory crafting here, ladies and gents. We've got the Ignite Morg versus the Exhaust Leona. It's definitely going to come down to how that is played out. Graves versus Kate. Kate is going to smash Graves unless he can close the gap easily. But Morg is not...
Quick draw? Yeah.
Quick draw. And then buckshot in her face, collateral damage. I'd love to buckshot in Caitlyn's face, just saying. With a shotgun, obviously.
Yeah.
And in the mid lane, Annie versus Nidalee. That's going to be much tougher for Static. He's got a lot, like Syndra mid-range, perfectly suits Annie. Nidalee, not mid-ranged.
Pixel lies, Ashen. Pixel lies.
He's ahead of the times. We were talking about that earlier, actually, with Team Immunity back in the wild cards when they were awful, and they had the on-hit Lulu with the Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I loved being represented internationally by a Bork Lulu, but then of course Lulu mid became a thing.
Yeah, that happened after the Season 4 patch when all the supports got the extra
No, it was back before Season 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, this was Lulu mid. She went Bork, and it was terrible.
God. Yeah, no.
That was Heavens.
That was Heavens, and then it just kind of caused things to happen. And
yeah, so he represented us internationally. So
he's now
there
playing
you go.
for Team MV. They picked him up, and then they picked up Swiffer.
Swiffer.
No,
yeah.
Swiffer. Swiper's their top laner.
Yep.
So Swiffer. I love how we went to I am out of this.
Yeah.
To be honest, my favourite team.
Yep. Fair enough.
They've done well. They won the Autumn Regionals last week. Yeah, they won and now they're in. That automatically seeds them into the Winter Regionals, and if they win and whoever wins the Winter Regionals goes to Gamescom later in the year to play at the Wildcard tournament. And if we manage to win that, we get into Worlds. I'm having some high hopes for that.
Yep, awesome. I hope you're right, my friend. So we're now into the skin battle. The absence of Pink Tarek makes me sad. Looks like Aspira doesn't dish out a lot of money for skins. No. Leona has some awesome ones, but the rest of his team has him covered.
Valkyrie Leona's my favorite.
Yep. Oh, I like the Iron Solari.
Yes, that matches her lore really well. But
and then you got the beach one. Which is
Yes.
fair enough.
I'll whack you with my umbrella.
That'll recall on my.
But I like her recall animation. It's
where
awesome.
she sits on her
Beach
chair.
chair and then
I
gets
guess
some
she sets it
sunglasses.
up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And just lays on it, puts her sunglasses on.
And then Lee kicks the tree.
Jax is a total pimp in this skin battle
Yeah.
with all the beautiful women, and then Morgana is. Some people probably have a thing for her.
There'll be people out there.
It's just the wings aren't the most attractive feature, of course.
JK Smithy added me on client, so I will. Oh, JKS.
Yeah.
So fair enough. Fair
Big
enough.
loss.
I was actually very surprised and very hopeful about Dignitas coming into OCE.
Yeah. They picked up Little Wraith.
No. Phonetic Array.
Yep.
JK Smithy.
Yep.
Which is good, and hopefully they can get enough experience on the stage to give Immunity run for their money.
Yep,
That'd
that
be
would
fun.
be wonderful to see Immunity with a true match in the Australian scene,
Yeah.
and of course New Zealand. We have to include them, our little
Oceanic.
brother.
We'll go with
Oceanic, yep,
Oceanic,
is
yeah.
probably a better way of saying it. I'm definitely going to be a fan of Avant after this. They're really cool guys. Purposely split up so they wouldn't be a.
Combined, there was 3 of them, but the other team didn't do too well.
Yeah.
I think they were out in 2 shots.
Yeah.
No, Advan have been good, but we've got Redemption here, which is it's not the same ones.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah. Okay, so ladies and gents, we'll go through the teams here. This could be the final game if Korean BBQ take it away.
Barbecue crew will go
Or
with that.
there will be a sudden death round if Makeshift take it away. Representing Makeshift, who have a solid fan base in our Twitch chat here, we have Ramsey Game King as your top Zinzao. Profound from Team Avant is the jungle Lee Sin. Psyker will be the bottom lane Graves. He's normally mid lanes, but is swapped with our old pal Static over at GameStar. We have Aspira finally transitioning from the Taric into a Leona, so he's very much a fan of the tanky Relic Shield supports. And rounding them out, it is Aspire's Static as the Goth Annie.
And for the barbecue, the Korean BBQ Set A set, whatever.
Yep, today.
Yeah, Set A. We have Framer as Jax. We have Dashi Bunny, Danshi Buddy as the Vi. We have Hipto as the Nid. We have Cruiser the Bruiser, or Cruiser.
That's what I was thinking the first time I saw it.
He's an CS player.
Yeah, he's terrible.
It's funny though. It's an NA. I don't
funny.
like NA, but
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Caitlyn is the Cruiser Drizzle. Cruiser Drizzle is Caitlyn, and he's being supported by Chubby as Morgana.
Okay, so we saw Chubby play Morgana before in the game that they actually won against Makeshift.
He's
So,
doing some really good dark bindings. I'm hoping
Yeah.
he pulls them out again.
yep, that would be wonderful. He's against Psyker rather than Static this time. So I'll have to see how that works out for
They'll
them.
have to draw it. They'll have to draw it the quick draw.
Oh, Ramsey!
First,
See ya,
First
buddy.
blood goes to Jax.
Oh, you do not want to let a Jax get ahead. That's the first time Ramsey hasn't, like, you know,
He's either taken first blood or
Yeah.
not given.
or just, like, fought and then ran away.
I think he got
In
a
case
bit
of
too-
Aatrox.
I think he may have got a bit too cocky.
Yeah, that could be a costly mistake. 323 gold going the way of Jax. He's going to free farm as well. Currently at a massive advantage as far as the CS is concerned. And he winning over in the mid and the bottom lane looking quite even. The junglers are about even as well. Profound going to be picking up some nice XP, particularly the cannon minion. He's going to be happy with that one, isn't he? No. Good guy, Profound, going to hand it over to Ramsey. It looks like Lee Sin going to be headed to the mid lane. Got to keep in mind Italy has barriers. She's going to be excruciatingly difficult to try and kill.
Yeah, with that barrier plus that heal.
Primal Surge.
Primal Surge, her heal.
It is a stupid name for a stupid ability.
Yeah. But
Oh! Oh, she knows that Lee Sin's there. I was going to say Lee Sin, he's been skirting the edge of that vision really well, but he didn't. Okay, so he's still hanging around here. Hypto ready to fall back at a moment's notice. We'll take a Sonic Wave to the face. And
Primal
a,
Surge basically wipes away all the least damage.
yeah, Profound. Going to be forced out here does have no, doesn't have any pots. He's used the last one, so he's going to have to rely on the Iron Will lifesteal. As Spyra going to go in onto Cruiser Drizzle there. Black Shield going to negate a lot of that. But
I hope Psyker mentors him.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a bit of a new, I'm not going to say he's a bad player. I'm going to say he's a bit of a new player.
Has a lot he can learn from a challenger.
That's exactly right. So I hope Psyker takes him under his wing and say, you know, yeah, Morgana's going to Black Shield. Use your E, then let it wait out, and then use your Q, or jump onto Caitlyn.
So Spyrus is just going to take a pilt over Peacemaker to the backside. Has gone for wards over health, so putting the team's vision before his own safety. And what I really like about Psyker, yeah, well, he will. So what I like about what Psyker and Aspira have done is Graves should be much less CS than this against a Kate. He should not have anywhere near this much CS, so they're doing a really good job at keeping even. And, you know, just as we watch him, he's going to miss a couple of CS. But that just must be nerves. We'll back away from him for the time being. So they're doing a really good job at keeping even, because in the mid-game, Kate, if she can't keep her range, which will be very difficult against the team, Graves is just going to jump in there and burst her down very quickly, very easily. And then has the follow-up damage with the quick draw attack speed. Although they can't let the Dark Bindings land that easily.
No.
Static doing a good job CSing in the bit.
Go top jungle. Top jungle.
Top. No, actually. Oh, no!
Yeah, Static got a kill.
Cameron made me point that out, and I was still too late, ladies and gents. 4 a.m. But, yeah, so Profound knew exactly where to wait. This happened before as well. Danshi Bunny, can he vault break away? Nice flash out of Static. He would have gotten away if that flash had not been traded. Tibbers is now available, and Static even got the first blood. Hilpto will get the...
no, Static didn't get the first blood. First blood from the team,
sorry.
yes. But Jack's got the first blood.
Yeah. It's still early on. Tibbers going to be used there. No barrier, no anything. Well, a lot of damage being used on this.
Are gone? No, they got...
Didn't use any summoner. It was actually a flash ignite out of a Static as well. Sorry, we're going to miss a fight up at the top. Nothing Zin can do here if he gets locked up by Jax. He just cannot duel him at all.
Yeah, you can't duel him. Yeah, he's definitely can't duel him.
Yeah, no, Jax is the grand... No. Fiora is the grand duelist. Jax is the grand master of arms.
I hate Fiora.
Even though Fiora is like the worst duelist ever. Her title is the grand duelist.
Her ult's ridiculous because you can still ignite during ult.
Yeah. Although it's buggy as heck. If you walk into a bush while she's ulting you, it's not... Yeah, Ashen17 knows the pain. You really need the supports to be auto-attacking the caster minions once, so you're able to kill them easier. But I think Asperus was more focusing on staying away from the Qs of these two ladies, because they'd be very deadly with the low health he's on. Without pots, he's still managing to heal back up, getting the last hits when he can. Which is, yeah, they're doing very well for themselves.
That Zin is still building damage.
Ramsey doesn't care. Despite it being 1-2, the gold lead is about as much as that first blood would have been. So the CS is bang on even across the board. So even Jax, with how much he's been dominating, he's still even in CS. So Ramsey doing a good job. The Phage has been picked up, so he's decided to go for quicker Triforce rather than for a bit of sustain through the Vamp Scepter here. As he's got to be careful that he doesn't get engaged upon by Jax. A lot of burst there. Someone's coming mid. I think it is Lee Sin. Profound's got to be careful he doesn't step in a trap though, because that'll set it off. There's a trap. Someone's going low. It is Zen at the top. And another flash comes out of Framer to get another first blood. Even though Zen is ahead in the CS, he's, like you say, still going pure damage.
I don't... He's struggling in that. So
that's trouble. Late game Zen is... late game Jax is big trouble.
Jax is now moving down the river. Number 7 as well.
Whoa! And Danish Bunny forced to flash out. 2 kills quickly picked up by the red team. Jax coming in.
Taking one and giving one to Nidalee.
You give them a hand, they will take your entire arm.
Yeah.
That would be the way to describe Korean
He bought
barbecue.
another
Roll.
long sword. He needs to. He's
Ramsey.
struggling in. He's struggling in like.
You need the door and shield, I think, would help quite a bit.
Shore and shield, cloth armor.
Oh, jeez.
He's gonna lose his next one.
Red buff on Jax. That is so obnoxious to try and deal with. Oh, nice crescent sweep,
that was
actually. He
good.
knocks Jax into the tower.
He won that.
Wow.
That
We can never count this crazy son of a bee out.
but he got a shutdown bonus on that too.
500 gold and the red buff. Let's watch that again. What do you think?
Yeah. No, one more.
Shut down.
That's
Alright,
it.
we'll speed
Here we
this
go.
up.
So he's in top lane.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
Frame
Ramsey,
is like, I'm gonna change
he
it
hasn't
down.
challenged him yet. Boom!
then-
Framer, much too aggressive. Jabs on him there. Grandmasters might not nearly enough.
Good, and then Vi's like,
And
no.
Daniels is like, I purposely didn't go in for a reason, bro. Lee Sin, does he have the Dragon's Rage? Not quite yet. Got a bunch of long swords though, so a bunch of swords hanging around the belt. Tibbers at a massive cooldown at level 1, which is fair enough because support Annie quite obnoxious to try and deal with. Italy going to be zooming around in the mid. Still equal on the CS. She's been able to catch up thanks to the swipe and pounce combo that allows her to fight quite well. And now Jules may go the way of Xin, although we've got to keep in mind that Counter-Strike negates a lot of what he does for a while and then stuns him to boot. So this red buff, it may turn the tide, but Ramsey's still got to be a little bit more cautious, like we said.
And he also has to watch his mana as well. He's low on mana.
Yeah.
Here comes Lee to back him up. Trying
But
to
they were,
they're trying
it
to
was,
bait him.
yeah, nice pings from Nidalee warned that Lee Sin were coming up. They're just waiting in the bush,
They were trying to be patient out, so he's like, no, I'm going to take that.
maybe in case Vi was going to come. So Static takes a spear in the mid. That will mean the dragon for these guys. Framer is wondering
Red
where the
team
heck.
has slain the dragon.
He's like,
They
what's
should-
going on?
She's going to get him as well.
He gets
Yeah,
the
it's
movement
okay.
speed from getting a kill with Fake. He pops Grandmaster's Might and the Counter-Strike as well. They will ward jump on him, and the Grandmaster's Might still giving him a lot of armor thanks to his AD. He's going to ward jump, but Dragon's Rage will be enough to finish him off there. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, we'll jump back and check exactly what happens here. Vi's going to come in. She has the Assault and Battery ready. And it looks like Saiga is going to stand in a binding. A terrible mistake. Soul Jackal alive as well. Gets ignited. Assault and Battery. Flash under the tower to try and take fire with him. But not a lot that the Spirit can
Did you see
do.
what happened to that Leona?
Yeah.
She like flew on the other side of the tower.
Yeah.
She's like trying to follow. She got hooked on She's then played onto the bike, but then while she was doing some battery or something. And then she got taken and thrown to the top tower. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So they're gonna lose bottom tower for this as well. So one
Blue
kill,
team's
one
turret
tower,
has
the
been
crew
destroyed.
towards the barbecue crew.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Tibbers was used in the mid there. Doesn't do a whole heck of a lot to him, though. And with the blue buff, holy guacamole. Run, run, Static.
Red team's
Lee's
turret has
not
been
too far
destroyed.
away either.
Meanwhile, the tier 1 at the top will eventually go down. Ashen17 pointing out a good, making a good point. The way that the Crescent Sweep works is it knocks everyone back except for the people that Xin has either attacked or charged. But he purposely didn't attack Jax so that his sweep would knock him back, not just,
Knocked him up.
yeah,
And knocked him up under tower.
and then charged him. As you try to make big plays on Xin, but you get your passive on them so you can't, and it sucks. So it looks like Static are going to be going for a very damage-orientated Annie build. Will he go DFG or will he go straight for the Death Cap? Have to see what he decides. The tier 1 at the top is actually the... No, there actually was another tower that went down. It was the bottom T1. So the tower's quite equal. There is 1,500 gold in the favor of Korean BBQ Set A, but Makeshift have come back from much bigger deficits than this, as Vi doesn't have Assault and Battery, but still the blue team are forced away because this roaming band of ladies, very, very dangerous, particularly at long range.
Yeah, and it is one terror piece. So it's not like it's an exact lead. What's the goal lead?
The lead for them is
Less than
still,
2 grand.
yeah,
1.5.
yeah, 1,500. Binding will land on Static, will cost Chubby a little bit of his HP pool, as at the tower going to continue to fall. He flashes forward, but the, well, actually they're going to be coming in here. Sin and Lee Sin all in. The Soul Shackles is brilliant out of Chubby. Will it be enough? Lee Sin ends up going down, but Sin, being an absolute man, ends up being 2 for 1 in the favor of Makeshift. Some nice Tibbers play coming out of Static. Didn't do a whole lot of stun, but it forced them back into the Lee Sin Zin, which is a brilliant play. If they get the T1, it will be very much worth it. Profound going to be happy to drop his life for that. The T1 at top going to be pushed by Jax, and this is the danger. If you let him get the tower, he's just going to split push, and he'll duel anyone who comes at him. Not many people beat Sin one-on-one. Narcissus and Jax are among those who do. Okay, so pick plays going on in the mid, followed by a bit more tower pushing. Still 1,000 gold lead in KoreanBBQ's favor. Going to be even more once they take down the mid tower here. Spear will go up. Aspera manages to dodge out of the way though.
I reckon I would have missed him, so he just moved out of the, but he moved out of the way just in case.
Yeah, which is respectable
Fair,
play.
fair.
Oh, Scumbag Static had charges but cleared the wave anyway. Scumbag.
That Static kid.
Scumbag.
He's gonna go. Oh, is that blue ball?
Nope, just invisible. Framer, he's being very hesitant here. No, he's going to back off. So, blue buff going the way of Static. Good guy, Spirit going to be handing that one off as Profound, trying to make a little bit more presence on the map. Felt he has the sight stone, so that mobility just going to become even more accessible to him. You're struggling there, buddy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Leona is for some reason in mid, leaving Graves to kind of jungle to get some experience up because he can't.
They can't be this far forward. That's the problem.
But,
why does it keep going back to Morgana? They can't be this far forward
Yeah.
when you're against like a Vi and stuff. Why does it keep going to Morgana? Hopefully that's fixed now. My camera really loves Chubby apparently. Kept going back to him. So yeah, well, like I was trying to say, it's difficult for Graves and Link. Okay. It loves Chubby. Hopefully Chubby's involved in the fights. Because maybe it's that. So, both the Spear and the Dark Binding will land there from... not land, sorry. From Profound. Dragon is up in 45, so this is a bit of a premature setup, you could say.
Might have our first full team fight.
And who do you predict will come ahead in that? You've got a lot of AoE from both teams here.
Depends how Zin's versus Strike lands.
Chubby's done some really good Soul Shackles. It can peel the entire front line in a single move.
They're not going to try and contest Dragon. I think they're going to push mid lane.
Yep, so they're going to force the Korean guys to make a decision. And looks like the decision is to get some global gold. They're going to try and get Nidalee to deal with this. The rest of Makeshift going to be pushing at the Dragon. Does eventually spawn. There we go. It's about up. And meanwhile, Spear lands on Psyker in the mid. That's why a whole bunch of damage went off. So Chubby, they're waiting. They're waiting at the halfway point to make sure that the tower doesn't immediately go down on the Dragon. Profound, he wants to do something about this, but Framer is trying to go him up. Profound, will he be able to steal it? He does indeed, he steals it, and Solar Flare comes in from Aspera. A beautiful initiation. Profound will manage to escape as well. Vi and Aspera in a bit of a 1v1. Forces the Vi ult to be used on him. Caitlyn is going to flash away. This is going disastrously for Makeshift after stealing the Dragon. Ends up being a 4-for-1. Morgana trading her life for a whole heck of a lot of kills. Danchi Bunny, will he manage to escape from Psyker? Jukes him out. Psyker has to retreat. He's forced to retreat there. Nice. It was a really nice initiation. Let's go back and find out exactly what happened here, Cameron. Fine, direct. Okay, so let's find out exactly what's happened here, Cameron. So we have the Dragon stolen. Really nice initiation onto the Vi. As, I don't know about the Dragon's rage. That probably wasn't the best. as this fitter going to make sure that Vi can't hold the team battle. That goes off Tibbers. Not the best, only lands on Morgana and Framer. This is the big problem. Framer is freely killing everybody. As Psycho going to chase after, and this is why that chase happens.
He shouldn't have really chased.
Yeah.
So that him and Faker, not Faker. Here we go, we got Faker in here now. Ramsey.
Yeah.
The bad chase.
Ignoring a Jax.
I wouldn't call that a good fight, to be honest.
No.
It was a good start, but it was just
Yeah,
really
they got
messy.
the dragon. Like you say, had a good
but
start.
It was not worth. They lost two, 3 kills.
Yeah, 4 for 1 in the
Yeah,
end.
not worth.
Too much was blown onto Morgana and Vi. The priority targets were ignored. As Engage goes off on the mid, Counter-Strike used to mitigate as much as he possibly can. The tower did end up going down. Primal Surge and heal used. Will it be enough to get Framer out of here? It will indeed, with the Black Shield stopping that in his tracks, as well as the Dark Binding. Beautiful play there from the ladies of KoreanBBQ, getting their pimp out of there. As he is going to holler Swag back to the base. As that looks like going to directed, and then Manuel did fix it, so thank you, Ash17. And a shout out to Rude, who says it was a good fight. Was indeed. It was a good fight for KoreanBBQ.
Yeah. Really messy.
Yeah, and the Vial wasn't even a factor as well.
Yeah.
So it was just purely the Morgana and Vi being too juicy a target, while the actual damage dealers just went to absolute town.
Yeah.
Oh, Spira. Gotta be careful there, buddy.
Like he had his his
The Eclipse, yes. Very, very helpful is that Eclipse, which makes him nice and tanky. Ramsey, Game King, Black Cleaver, and Hex Drinker. Not going for as much as attack speed as he did in the previous game. This is more of the Jarvan build that he did, actually. Oh, Shaka, you gotta be careful here. Black Shield is used on Vi. Assault and Battery is close till it's off of cooldown. And here it is, 1 second. It is now available. Psyker is going to have to be a lot more respectful of the engaged potential of Vi here. Going to charge up the punch and just move away. Meanwhile, the Lee Sin is going to take down Framer. So Framer draws 2 members of the blue team to him there. Nice ward utilage by both of these very mobile champions. Profound going to jump onto him here and gets the Dragon's Rage to execute. But this whole time 4v5 going, well not 4v5, 4v3, and Aspira going to tank it up to allow Graves to get out. Again, he is so good at getting steam out. Tibbers is going to go down. Danish Bunny manages to fall in the end. Italy flashes into a situation she really did not want to be in. 3 for 1. The tower did end up going down, but Static, is he going to stand in Caitlyn? The net just takes him low enough for an ace in the hole. But of course that is on cooldown. Very, very back and forth here, Cameron. Yeah. 3,000 gold separates the teams. The tier 2 did go down, which is key. But some nice movement out of Makeshift will make it.
It is also 5 towers to now. Maybe that may make a difference. But
yep, certainly. So the death cap being worked on by the Nidalee is already finished on Annie. She could be going for the Void Staff next. She did rush that in the previous game. Morgana going to head back to the base, working on the Aegis of the Legion to move into a Locket of the Iron Solari. We have Ramsey, Game King, pushing up at the top. How much money is he rocking? 1,000. So he could go for something crazy like a U move if he really wanted. I think that was what he rushed the first time on the Zen. But he went a bit more defensive this time because he didn't get fed attack. As the T1 at the bot will end up going down, which means every outer tower across the map has now fallen. But the tower advantage does lie with our KoreanBBQ Set A, because of course the tier 2s in the mid and the bot have also fallen down. Dragon up in a minute 40. That's probably going to be the next point of contention here, because neither of these teams really want to make the game losing stage.
That's exactly right.
No vision for blue team here in the Baz Kebab pit, but it doesn't look like...
The ward is that pink ward just outside.
Yeah. So
even then, may have not picked them up.
So KoreanBBQ looks like they're not quite as creative as the other teams we've had today. They do
not want to push that tower though.
Yeah. They want to get the outer towers out and confine the blue team to their base, which definitely makes sense here. As Zen going to use his ult, doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. He's going to charge in now. Tibbers is available. Flash is also available. Where is the blue team? They are following up. There's a static. Well, actually, the tower's falling lower and lower. If they want to do something, they have to do it now. And it will now be too late. Saka moving forward, perhaps a little bit too aggressively. There's a bunch of stuff going on. And I think Tibbers will go down onto Caitlyn and take her down immediately. Soul Shackles will force them to disengage for the time being. Sonic Wave will land onto Hypto. Dragon's Rage, will it be used here? Is Hypto, can he? No, he fails it over the wall. We've all done that before. It is a 3-0 just with Caitlyn being caught out. I'll stop jumping back to Experiment because we're really running out of time here. But Cruiser Dizzle, much too aggressive. Static is going to, must happen eventually. Static is going to flash forward, say a nice juicy Caitlyn, boom. Lends it onto Hypto as well. Massive burst, use their collateral damage, finishes it off. And Hypto gets flash Sonic Waved here by the Lee Sin as Morgana knocked up by the Manly win now. Profound even auto-attacks the minion. Poor Hypto doesn't get the leap over the wall. Probably wouldn't have saved him though because of the Sonic Wave. And that may mean a Baz Kebab on the table here. Framer uses Counter-Strike and then jumps over to Vi, but it won't do a lot. They're forced to flash out. Grandmasters might use, and Randwins by, I think it was the Vi who used it. Framer going to split off to try and save Vi. Red buff Graves, very difficult to escape. I don't think Framer can do a lot here. Can Profound catch up? He does have the movement speed from Triforce, so could potentially make something happen. There is no tier 2. Can they get the auto attack? No, they're going to misjudge where he is going. Zin is following at a breakneck pace. Framer wasting so much time that his team will now respawn, and he may indeed escape. Leaf strikes to the minion. Can Statics and Leona cut him off in time? No, they've got to get out. The red team is collapsing in on them. Static, can he possibly get out of this one? Yes, the red team not going to be that aggressive. They end up turning around and taking down the Dragon for their troubles. 208 gold apiece, with a bit more going to Lee Sin because of Consecration as well as getting the last hit. And there is 600 gold separating these teams, Cameron. Okay. So you don't choose the support life, the support life chooses you. That is Aspera and Tube. Tube both doing a lot for their teams as their supports. Yeah, waiting to see what happens next. There's still not much gold between these teams at the moment. Trying to fix the camera. I think we are starting to get it sorted out now. No, it's still jumping back to Vi, and I don't want it to. So, I don't know what I've done here. Manual? It works. The system works. Nope, never mind. System doesn't work. Okay. So, the push continuing here by KoreanBBQ Set A. The Baron is open for them if they decide to go for it. This is really damn annoying to try and follow the action with the camera jumping back like this. As Hypto, how much gold are these teams sitting on? They've gone back and spent, there's 1,000 gold on Aspera. His money is burning a hole in his pockets. More money, more problems. Framer going to be pushing at the top, working on the Blade of the Rune King. At that point, he has all the damage he needs. He can go tanky after that with the Randuins and the Banshee's Veil. As Ramsey has the Boost of Swiftness and a Giant Spell, which is trying to stay alive enough for that damage to come into effect. Try and shred the armor so that Lee Sin and Graves can do as much as possible. Static has the Death Cap, is working on a Haunting Guys as well as the Hourglass. Already has the Seekers. A lot of wards here from the blue team, which is one of them's about to time out. The other one has about half of its duration. Dragon must be close to spawning here. Framer continuing to farm. A small window of opportunity for Makeshift where they could engage 4v5. Jax does not have teleport, but they're just going to play passively for the time being. Profound going to steal away the Wraith there, and hopefully we're approaching a Catalyst team fight here, which will decide the game.
Being really passive at the moment, they're just
Yeah,
farming
they're
up.
very scared.
Yeah, Barbecue knows that the Barbecue's trying to avoid this 4th match, so they're trying to make sure they don't give anything away, and they Makeshift gonna give it a little.
Or nothing they can do about that. Grandmaster's Might instantly takes down the Hextrigger shield. Graves is going to take a spear to the face. He cannot afford another one. Will it end up letting him know he gets out of there? Assault and battery used onto Aspira, going to tank the enemy team so that the rest of his team can escape safely. But Zin and Leona going down, that is a lot of their front line, which is now gone. No one to absorb the spears, no one to absorb the dark bindings, and then the ace in the hole, it will hit a squishy person if this channel actually is on cooldown. Soul Shackle still available, as is the Nidalee ult, which has been a whole heck of a lot. Static going to flash forward with the Tibbers. Collateral damage will finish at least the Morgana off, but doesn't do a whole heck of a lot more than that, as the Nidalee will get a snipe off on Annie. Was assumed that it was impressive. Flash forward by the Vice, she takes Power Aggro, uses Randomance. The execute combo used by Profound there, Ignite on the Psyker, gets a shutdown onto him, and Profound will pick that one back up for them. Flash, Audacious Charge, and Flash Sonic Wave comes out. They're going to take down both of them. Quadra kill for Profound on the Lee Sin. That is the way to defend your base.
Ace I've seen for the semi-finals or the finals.
Makeshift to successfully defend their base, and the manly duo of manliness is going to head on straight over to the Basket to check himself up and up. Whereas Aspherus is going where his heart tells him to. Can they take this down without dying? That's the big question on everyone's mind here. Lee Sin's going to have to be the one to tank it up. And the only member left, Chube, and well, Vi is up, but she's definitely in no man's land at the moment as far as Baron is concerned. Asper going to come in with his full HP bar, able to tank up the Baron, and it will finally be finished off by Makeshift. They're at a gold lead at the moment, only going to accelerate into about 1,000 or maybe 2,000 gold lead after being behind half the game. So this may be a very long and arduous comeback to take to go into the sudden death round. We have a lot of passion in the Twitch chat here. There's a lot of the players not quite sure who they want to go, or not the viewers not sure which players they want to go for. Some are very sure, as Static doesn't have Flash, does have the level 2 Tibbers, does have Haunting Guys, so he's going to hit that little bit harder. Jax now has all the damage that he needs. He's going to work on the Randuins. A Bork plus Triforce Jax, very, very painful to try and deal with, as the Golem will go over the way of the Kate there. Turn off the camera. Sorry about the camera problems, guys. No idea what the hell's going on. The League client being awesome as normal. As where is that coming off? It is to defend the bottom tier 2, as the Baron buff will give them enough to sustain. Try and deal with this one. My Little Vixen's waifu going to go down to the murderous Makeshift fellas. They will wear her purple buff with pride. It will help them with their tower pushing endeavors. And they're actually going to go for the dragon at the time being, so trying to further out the lead a little bit more, continuing to play conservatively.
Blue team
See if that's what sorts it out for them. Blue team continuing to group up here. Static going to head on over to the top and clear that wave out. Will that be the signal for KoreanBBQ Set A to go in? Aspirate just getting some juicy support farm for himself. The rest of his team telling him to get the heck back, and he finally agrees just to stop their whinging. Red team, they're respecting the power of the Baron buff, staying back and being passive like they have for quite a while in this game now, the last 10 minutes at least. With the gold gap slowly but steadily increasing for Makeshift, Static going to continue farming up, getting some Seekers, Arm Guard stacks, just kidding, he already has it maxed out. Profound has an Infinity Edge on the Lee Sin. It's a very interesting choice. If he does get a crit, he's going to do a massive amount of burst. Framer gets actually takes down the ward thanks to the Empower. Can he take that one down as well? No, doesn't use the auto attack reset, which means that he cannot get it off. And probably some laughing going on in the chat. No, they can't get this down. Everyone getting delirious at this point in time. 4:10 in the morning. Holy guacamole. Yeah, Makeshift doing a great job of bringing it back. We'll have to see if there's a throw anytime soon. Sooner or later, something's going to have to happen. The poke side of KoreanBBQ are falling further and further behind. They've got to make a play happen, or they're just going to get methodically taken apart. And that's horrible because it's already early in the morning. If it's going to be over, then make it quick. Push continuing in the mid lane for the blue side here. We will get a vision for all of the team members. The Ramsey is waiting off to the side. Is flash available for Static? Is indeed. Will he make the play to go in? It looks like Zin actually going to be going in. And Tibber's not the best. Soul Shackles is interrupted by the death of Morgana, though. Lee Sin ends up going down to the Jax. Double kill for Psycho, though. He's just in the back destroying everyone. Stun comes out of Static. Can Cruiser get out of this heal? It's going to keep him alive. No, it will not. And when everything is said and done, a quadra kill for the other member of Van. Static, the last remaining member of either team here, is going to push with his little girl arms as best as he can. And let's see what is going on in the chat there. I don't want to go back to that fight because holy hell, this is getting too much. So Static is the sole remaining survivor. 4.3 thousand gold in Makeshift's favor. And they've got the Baron. The buff is now gone, of course. And they have cracked the first of the tier 2s. The other ones not looking the most damaged at the moment. Hypto going to ensure that remains a relevant assumption. There's Chubbe in the mid. I'm going to try and get over to him. There we go. I've removed the Fog of War. There we go. So it looks weird without the Fog of War, I have to say. Very weird. Chubbe picking up some more support farmer in the mid. Support's nice as well. And Kate, is she going to catch out Lee Sin here? Red buff. End up going to Kate. That was close to going to Lee Sin though. His dot was going. Yeah, so Aspire continuing to pick up the item, catch the Locket of the Iron Solari, which is a key pickup against the Nidalee and the Morgana. As Vi is going to be donating the blue over to Nidalee here. Take that one down. It almost, the minion almost interrupts Vi's recall, but not enough in the end. Professor Niggle's emotions are being toyed with in our Australian esports here. This could be the last game. It could be the second last game. It just all depends on the next couple of fights. Makeshift could drag it out to the very the real tiebreaker, the sudden death, or will they throw here? They've been in this situation and they won, but KoreanBBQ, Caitlyn and Nidalee quite good at poking at range, particularly when Nidalee has blue. And I mean, Morgana fairly good at clearing as well. And we have to keep in mind, Jax is only going to scale harder from here. Solar Flare, this is on everyone here as the fight will erupt under the tower, previously used by Xin Zhao. A Static is going to get a lot of damage down onto the Morgana. A lot of members of Makeshift are going down. In the meantime, Ramsey did end up falling. That is a 5-for-1 triple kill going the way of Caitlyn. And then the double picked up by the Jax, and just like that, this game has turned on its head. The push is going to soldier on in the mid here. Leona will be up soon. Will she be enough to stop this? Framer going to run forward and tank the tower. He's going to absolutely demolish it. Whack, 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 whack. And they will take the tier 3 down. Could this be the end of Respawn League of Legends? It will be if Makeshift don't get here to defend this. Although it looks like KoreanBBQ Set going to back off. Baron is in 5 seconds. A Dragon in 30. I don't know if, well, I mean, between Jax and Caitlyn, they probably could take the Baron, but they're just going to play it safe for the time being. Take some Wraiths away, take some Reds away, recall back to the base. And now Profound, this is a similar, this is a situation Makeshift have been in before. That they're going to take a sneaky Baron. This is the vision for Baron, as far as Red Team's concerned. They don't have any. So we know that Lee Sin is damaging the Baron here. And as far as they know, there's no one on Baron, this being the Red Team. So Vi's going to come in and get the ward over the wall. Probably going to do the pink ward here, and he's going to know that something's going on in here. He can jump the wall with the Vault Breaker. Assault Battery is almost off of cooldown. Leona is here, and so is Cyclops. This Baron is going to die quicker and quicker. Can the red team get in position to try and get rid of this? Vi misses the smite there. Nice Dragon's Rage, but Lee Sin eventually goes down to the Jack. Static gonna get the Tibbers off onto Brew Drizzle, who has the Guardian Angel. The Vi will end up falling, but Psycho is left in a 1v2 that he never had a chance of winning. Solar Flare, nicely done, but maybe too little too late. Double kill for the Jacks, who is going absolutely insane. Static and Zin are the only ones left alive, whereas Vi and Morgana the only casualties for the side of KoreanBBQ. Ace in the hole comes in, and Framer should be able to finish this one up. His Hourglass going to buy as much time as possible for that is Static to try and buy as much time for his team to respawn as possible. And it did work because Profound will respawn in time to help defend, but in time to defend the tier 3, possibly not here. We're trying to get the goddamn camera working. Jack's going to join in time to take the inhib. Profound, can he get a bit of assassination down on the Jacks? No, he's just going to jump out. Super minions in the mid will get cleared out, and a second inhibitor goes down for KoreanBBQ. So, not sure what was going on with the Makeshift. They were a little bit all over the place after that Baron, a little bit uncoordinated. Baron also going to be picked up by our KoreanBBQ Set A team. Profound is going to go back to the base with the 1500 that he managed to accrue. Will he get the Ravenous Hydra, or will he perhaps get the Sunfire Cape? He is going to go for the Ravenous Hydra, so that burst's going to get bigger. He can sustain, and the fight's a little bit better as well. As Cruiser Drizzle picked up the Guardian Angel, going to be working on the Infinity Edge, and then will be fully slotted apart from replacing the Zerka's Greaves with a Zephyr. We have Hypto at the Baron Pit, going to be clearing out the wards. Not a whole heck of a lot of use, with Bascabat being down for a good amount of time. But the Baron buff, not on many members of the blue team, because of them dying. Static is, his elixirs are running out, so that little power spike he gets starting to run out. Professor Niggles is going to go to bed. Good afternoon, my friend. Thank you for tuning in, supporting in our Aussie Esports and Ashen 17. And yeah, the Leona ult, when it missed, they should not have followed up on it. So the blue team, they're waiting off to the wings here. And for all they know, Profound is in the jungle by himself. Is this going to be what they need? The Graves is waiting in the base to try and defend this. Caitlyn just going to pew-pew away at it. Blue team, they're going to recall and come in from behind. They're going to lose the last of their tier 3's inhibitor. Soon to follow, Psycho gets speared, and then our ace in the hole Framer managed to get the last hit with the Ignite, and the red buff as I don't think Xin Zhao is going to survive this one. No one has died on the side of KoreanBBQ. This may be all she wrote for respawn. Lol here, Profound manages to take down the Jacks. Gets flashed upon by the enemy team. Nexus Tower number 1 falls. Nexus Tower number 2 falls. And that is indeed all she wrote for the legacy of KoreanBBQ Set A. They lose a total of 1 game out of about 16 that they played today. And Makeshift, after they're forced into the losers bracket, they crawl their way back to the grand final. They give a damn good show. But in the end, our KoreanBBQs will take it away. So, brilliant play out of both of the teams here. Some sacrificial plays and whatnot. We have Cameron joining us just for the end. We have our final, our winners here. KoreanBBQ.
Only after 16 hours of playing.
16 hours.
And running around after league players. We have
Yep.
finally found our winners.
So congratulations to the KoreanBBQ Set A guys, and congratulations to Makeshift for such a fantastic showing. They're going to walk away with some prizes as well. So thank you viewers for tuning in. We very much appreciate it. If you would like to follow the GameStar 2 channel, we're going to be casting LOL some more from now on with the Cyber Gamer ladder. and as much lands as we can get. If you head on over to www.facebook.com/GameStar, I'm going to be posting up every single replay from today up there. So if there's any games you wanted to catch, go ahead and do that. I'd highly recommend the Generals versus Royal Genesis. That was a brilliant game. And but there was a lot of good games, particularly towards the end there, with some very fine teams. So, gonna have to nominate an MVP here. It's gonna have to be Framer on the Jacks. He just did phenomenal work from the get-go, shutting down that crazy Ramsey Game King, only the beginning of his streak. So, thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. As Chubby's asking about the CSGO trophy, I think that happened while we were still in semis. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. It's been a pleasure here at Respawn. It is 4:20 in the morning. I am going to go die on a couch. Thank you for tuning in. This is Cold Blood and the absent Cameron signing out for tonight.